Well, I think we have an intro.
Yeah, we do.
If we do have one, I'm going to play it right now. And if we don't have one, then you just heard that for nothing. So, definitely have one in the works. Definitely.
Yeah, actually, in the works.
Yeah, actually in the works now. But I want to give a quick shout out to a few new countries that we've acquired that are listening. So we have Germany, Sweden, and Estonia.
We already said Estonia.
We already did?
Yeah. I think it's a new state. Did we have a new state?
Yes. Yes, we did.
That's a great Virgin. I think
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. That's what it was.
Colorado's a new state that's listening.
Nice.
So we're up to 8 states.
That's so
which
cool.
is pretty awesome, and 5 different countries.
Yeah, that is insane.
It is pretty cool. So welcome. It's very nice to have you guys here.
Yeah, I agree.
But so today, have you heard of a fella named Stephen Kubacki?
No.
Okay.
He's a skateboarder.
No, but that is a cool name for a skateboarder.
Okay.
So, Stephen Kubacki, he was a student at Hope College. It was a small private Christian university located on the southeastern side of Lake Michigan. And in February 1798, he vanished. So what happened was, on February 1978, he just packed his bags. You know, it was like snowy out in Michigan. Like, imagine Lake Michigan, way snowy, like cold as hell. And he packed his stuff. He had ski poles. He had his backpack. And he was going to go on a cross-country skiing expedition. He was leaving from this college. And he left, but he didn't come back. And there's a lot of things that happened in his absence and kind of what led up to it. So originally what happened was that he left for a small trail that led along the lake edge. And his foot trail followed about 200 meters, right? And then right as soon as he got to the lake, it just stopped. Just footsteps stopped. You know, footsteps in the snow.
This is frozen, right?
Frozen.
Okay.
Originally, what would you think?
I would think he fell through the ice.
Yeah, bro fell in.
Yeah, but it sounds like, if anything, you'd be like, okay, well, the ice would be, if anybody goes ice fishing, if you break through the ice, you can visibly see where the ice is broken and refroze.
Yes. Yes, you can.
It's trying to think of an easy analogy for it, but I mean, I feel like a lot of people maybe have seen frozen things.
It's almost like when you have a cut and it heals.
Like a scar.
Your skin, it's skin.
It's a scar.
It's a scar on the ice.
Yeah.
If you've ever been ice fishing, you can tell where the ice is broken. Or has been.
Or has been drilled through. You can easily see it. And you can also see it if you can even see maybe a chunk kind of froze off to the side or something. You can tell.
It's not straight flat.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, about 200 meters in, his footsteps stopped.
Into the lake, right?
Into the lake, right on the lake's edge. And he was gone. 14 months. Disappeared.
And it thaws.
Right.
Okay.
So anyways, a day or two pass, and he was supposed to have communicated to his mom or dad or something like that. Nothing ever happens. But, it was only supposed to be a day or two ski trip. He didn't come back. They ended up sending a search expedition.
Well, yeah.
Right? So they found this trail of his, and they're the ones that found where it stopped. Okay? That was it. They looked around. They walked all around the lake, went up into the hills. They even got an airplane and a helicopter out there to see anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But after a couple days, depending on snowfall, he could be gone.
Yeah, I don't know the weather of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's on Canada's border, right? It's up there.
Yeah, I want to say on the other side of Lake Michigan is
Canada.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure. Because, and even thinking about how much snow, like Montana, Northern Idaho, Washington, how much they get?
So, kind of on the other side of Lake Michigan, it is Canada, but you have to still go through, like, the peninsula of Wisconsin
Oh, okay.
to get to Canada. So, like, not really, but yes.
I mean, it's cold. Wisconsin's known for being cold.
Right.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so they ended up reining back the expedition, and then when they all came back, they found his backpack there with ski poles neatly set up that weren't there before.
What?
Yeah.
So they just were like, it's like if somebody just walked right past it. But they obviously did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right where his footsteps disappeared, there was a backpack set up. So imagine this, like a backpack, perfectly neat, like standing up, and off to the sides there was 2 poles, skiing poles.
Like he vanished.
Like they were just set up neatly right there. All of his skiing cross-country gear set up right there.
Whack.
Weird, right? And so this is something that I learned is also like, you know what the Bermuda Triangle is? There is a Lake Michigan Triangle.
Okay, that's why I was like...
You've heard of this?
This kind of feels familiar, but not... I don't know, it could be... I could be thinking about a different thing, but I feel like Lake Michigan... I want to say it was a military guy, but maybe I'll find it and do something on it.
Yeah, but like Lake Michigan has it's known as...
Because it was Lake Michigan where he disappeared.
Yes, the Lake Michigan Triangle, which stretches from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, to Ludington, Michigan, to the South Benton Harbor, which forms like a right triangle.
Okay.
And pretty much, yeah, he just vanished. And so with this Lake Michigan Triangle, a lot of things, people, boats, ships, planes go missing in there. I didn't realize how big these lakes were.
They're massive.
Like, they're huge.
Yeah, they're not like Lake Cascade or something.
That's
they're
what I imagine. It's like Little Lake Cascade.
They're like almost like an ocean size, it feels like.
Yeah, that is nuts. I saw some pictures and stuff about it. I'm like, oh my god, that is like...
massive.
That is huge.
So, but like, he was just going to go on like this little wander?
No, like a skiing trip.
But like, by himself?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. But anyways, he vanished pretty much for 14 months. No footsteps. His parents thought they were dead. His brother didn't. Okay, but anyways, on May 5th, 1979, which is 14 months later, he rang his father's doorbell. And his dad answered the door and was like, what the fuck?
Where the fuck were you?
Been? And Steven said that he woke up naked in a field 40 miles away from his father's house. And all he had was a tiny backpack with maps, and he had no memory of what happened 14 months ago.
Dude. What?
Yeah. So I have some stuff, like following maybe his adventure.
Oh my god.
But it's like crazy. He just 14 months, like imagine that, 14 months.
That's a long time.
You don't remember anything that happened, supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. But he was like obviously dressed when he, because there's no way you just walked 40 miles naked to your dad's house. So he had to have like...
Different times then, bub.
The 70s were a weird time.
He was just grooving.
Dang.
But, so Kubacki told Steven, we'll just call him Steven, told the reporter that he believed his blackout was caused by exhaustion and exposure, which doesn't make sense after 200 meters.
I was going to say, is he not training for this? Because I feel like you would have trained, you know? If you're going to go by yourself, you would have... Oh, well, you're just...
I don't know, knowing myself, if I wanted to ski, like...
No, not ski, cross-country ski.
What is that?
It's different.
What?
You're walking. Oh, sorry. You're walking. You're not, like, skiing down a mountain. You're walking.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. Cross-country skiing is, like, you are walking through, like, long periods.
But you can go downhill every now and then?
I mean, yeah, that's, like... So, like, with the sleigh, like, if you're, like, going downhill, you can go down a little bit, but you're essentially walking. Like, you're on skis and you're just pushing, like, kind of like, essentially like rollerblades.
Oh my gosh.
I'm, like, pretty positive.
That doesn't sound nearly as fun.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why would he do that by himself?
All right, we're going to look this up right now.
Say it on air.
So, yeah, you were right. I did not know that was a sport.
Yeah.
Also commonly known as Nordic skiing. Fun fact.
Yeah, so, yeah, because essentially you're just like, instead of with snowshoes, you're just kind of gliding and walking.
That sounds way less enjoyable. I don't know, maybe some people.
But even in half the pictures we looked up, you're with someone. So why?
Not if your name's Steven.
I just don't understand why you would want to go by yourself if you weren't experienced, right?
He's an alpha lone wolf.
That's what I'm saying. If he's experienced, 200 meters should not have exhausted him, right?
I mean, 200 meters exhaust you, like...
That's what I'm saying. Unless he was
That's a driveway for some people, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That, if he was experienced enough to feel confident to go by himself, and he got exhausted that easily, that the math of that just doesn't add up. Because if you were inexperienced, you would go with somebody. And if you were experienced enough, 200 meters wouldn't have taken you out, you know?
Maybe that's why he disappeared, bro. He looked back and he's like,
This is me already.
I thought I was done. He's like, they can't find me like this.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty rough. That seems a little bit of a far stretch.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so after he was found, he was told pretty much to go to the doctors. He was like, yeah, I agree, I'll go. While he was in college, he was studying psychology. So he's like, no, I don't need to go see a psychologist because I'm fine. But he went to a doctor, and the doctor pretty much diagnosed Stephen with a rare temporary disease called the fugue state. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty much where your mind, you forget everything, but you pretty much live a normal life. But your mind pretty much cuts off.
Isn't that just like temporary amnesia?
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same thing as an amnesic state. We'll call it an amnesic state.
Yeah.
But like when a fugue state is like people take on different personas.
So almost like a stronger personality disorder.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay.
But his fugue state. I did some digging on this. Well, actually, I got a lot of this information from a lady called Ellen Killamore. She had a website with a lot of information on there, so quick shout out.
Nice.
She had great information. But he pretty much took on a persona. This is not proven by any means, of Nathan.
Okay.
Anyways, we'll touch on that later.
Okay.
But yeah, a fugue state. He took on a different persona, just kind of took over, which I don't know if it happens repeatedly or not, but like a 14-month episode.
I could see it. I mean, if you look into multiple personality disorder, I bet you can see like long-term personality takeovers.
Yeah.
So that it could be something of like along those states.
Yeah.
Because you aren't technically conscious. That's a part of that disorder.
Yeah. But so after he came back, they, pretty much got on the news again, and his roommate got on with a reporter and pretty much said that Stephen was capable of planning this whole scenario. But if he did, that the roommate would know about it. So when Stephen went missing, the roommate actually believed that something did happen to him. However, the majority of students on campus believe that it was planned by him. That it was planned by Stephen.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, would you really know you're their roommate, first off? Doesn't mean they don't have somewhere,
Also, you're talking to a reporter, you're like, yeah, I'm the shit.
Yeah.
What's up, bud?
I would know.
He's my roommate.
But what I'm saying is, a lot of people are like, I didn't even know. Like
pedophiles? I had no idea.
Who is it? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy.
Who are you talking about?
There's a serial killer that killed people.
Ted Bundy.
Not Bundy.
That handsome devil.
He killed people, and he had a wife and kids at home. They genuinely did not know.
I have no idea.
I can't remember who it is. Bundy's wife or girlfriend kind of knew, because she
kind of knew.
She felt like something wasn't right, but
he's too perfect.
He wasn't violent. Good. He can be, yeah, he could, but like I don't know who it is. Here, maybe let me see if I can find it real quick. If not, we'll just come right back. But I think I can find it. I'm pretty positive it's the BTK killer, which we're not going to call him that. We're going to call him Dennis because he came up with his own name.
Dennis the Menace.
He's like, I'm BTK.
BTK. Bacon, tilapia.
No, it's bind, torture, kill. So,
BTK killer?
Yeah. But he came up with his name, and he's like, I am the BTK killer, so we're going to call him Dennis, because he's a total tool, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dennis,
fuck you,
his
Dennis.
wife and daughter didn't know that he was, like, serial killer. Like, they were like, we never had anything that would make us think that. So, but, like, that's the thing. And then what this college kid is like, oh, yeah, I just know him. Some people are very close, like, unless, like, you were real close with him. I mean, no judgment. Like, you can be however close you want to with your roommate. But what I'm saying is, It doesn't matter what closeness you're at. Sometimes people hide stuff from other people. And especially if they're like, oh, yeah, this guy's a fucking tool.
Well, supposedly, when they were looking for him, the dean of the college, or the president of the college, said that he ran with... oh, wait, no. I'm talking about something totally different. Oh. So, in the midst of him being gone, his mom got some calls, like 6 months before he came back, and she didn't think anything of it, but his aunt got a call from somebody saying, this was Steven, call me back at this number if you want to, like, get in contact with me. Anyways, the aunt got in contact with Steven's mom, but when Steven's mom tried to call, the number was disconnected. But when she later on went to the police to look up police records, or when the police came to her to look at police records, phone records, they found that 6 months before Steven came back, Steven had called, and she talked to him for 15 minutes but didn't know it was him.
But she doesn't remember who she was talking to?
No, she remembers who it was, but she didn't know it was Steven.
Oh, who did she think she was talking to? Do you know?
No idea.
Was talking to him a stranger for 15 minutes?
Different times than did.
Oh, yeah, today I gotta do it.
Have you tried the new treadmill, Barbara?
Honestly, though, working with, like, any kind of, like, customer service, you understand. You definitely do, because people will just talk. Especially, like, some people that may have gone through some grief, or, like, who, even sometimes older people, like, it feels like almost they just want to come in or just call just to talk, because they don't have anybody.
Low-key, I love talking to them.
I know. No, they also have, like,
unless it gets weird.
Unless they get mean. Old people can get mean. No offense, old people. I'm not saying that in a mean way. I'm just saying sometimes you can come across...
so we're fine.
Yeah. Just saying, you can be a pretty mean... I had this lady, I asked her something, and she was like, oh, you young kids like to just make things difficult, don't you? And I was like... I do not care. This is for you. So I'm asking your preference on this. So why are you being mean to me? Like, oh, you young millennials or whatever you want to call yourself now. I'm like, oh my God. She just starts going off. I'm like, okay, anyways, I'll just get you this then. It's just like, what do I... And then she was like, no, I want this. I was like, why do you think I asked? Oh my God. Like, it was just rough, but...
Dude.
I was like, oh my God.
My first job ever was Dairy Queen. And, like, that was my only experience in the fast food industry. 3 months of it, and I fucking quit. That's a story for another time, but it was a rage quit. I fucking rage quit Dairy Queen on Overland. I'll never forget. Dude, I was so mad. But it wasn't even a customer. It was my fucking manager. But, like, yeah, people, they're just, it's weird to even think about. Like, everybody should work customer service for 1 month. They should go to a shitty place, though.
I know.
Like, Dairy Queen's pretty horrible. I think if at any point, everybody should work fast food for 1 month.
At least. If not even a month, I would say at least 2 weeks. Like, a full-time 2 weeks.
Not a good place either. Like, don't go to Chick-fil-A. I don't think that counts.
I don't know. Yeah, because Chick-fil-A, I feel
Go to, like, Taco Bell, where they're always short-staffed. And they come in for the lunch rush. And everybody's just shitting on you.
I would even say, arguably, Subway. I feel like there's always only, like, 2 of them. I'm like, that's not enough.
That's because there's always a line at Subway.
Yes. Subway. I don't even know, but oh my gosh, I just think I know
Everybody should do it. Also, Arby's doesn't count because I don't think Arby's actually gets any customers. It's a front for something. It has to be.
Dude, Arby's is good. I like Arby's. Those beef and cheddars are fire. Okay, you don't have to look at it.
I don't even know what to say.
You already knew that about me.
I'm going to put a poll up on this one.
I'll put a poll up.
I'm going to put a poll up. Arby's, and it's just going to say,
we have the meat.
Gross or less gross. Those are the two options.
I'm not saying all the time. Like, Arby's is not my first choice. But if I haven't had it this year, maybe.
This year? I'm going to roll the dice on a Sunday morning. I got nothing planned for the rest of the day.
I've never had tummy problems after Arby's.
You're right. But Burger King gave you.
Dude, Burger King poisoned me.
Yeah. I still go to Burger King, though. Tried and true.
I think I've tried it once since then.
The king of burgers, what can I say?
I know, jeez. Yeah.
Anyways, back on topic here. So yeah, his roommate said that to the reporters, and then after Steven came back, the reporters came to him, and there was some question about his integrity. Stevens.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much, like, did he plan it all? Was this due to something else? Or did he actually go into a feud
I'd be questioning this homeboy right off the bat.
Another theory is, since it was in the Lake Michigan Triangle, was he abducted by aliens?
I wouldn't doubt that. I thought that's what you were going to go into first, but...
No, I'm not even going to touch on that, because there's a lot of... I don't think that's what happened.
I'm guessing, yeah.
So, anyways, so Stephen told the reporter afterwards that... my father was going to sign over the house to me. I had 3 courses at school and no trouble. I left a romance in Germany. That's where he studied abroad. And there was no trouble with girls. I had a job lined up with the Holland Sentinel newspaper.
So he's pretty much saying there's no reason for me to make this up
because
I had a good life.
Yeah, there was no reason for me to do this.
Okay.
Anyways, Kubacki didn't take the job. Steven didn't take the job. But while he was gone, he was awarded a bachelor's degree in absentia, which is like somebody goes missing or passes away, they still get their degree in honor of them.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And then from Hope College, and then when he actually resurfaced, he got his actual degree back without in absentia in it.
Oh, so he got to actually finish it? Okay, that's cool.
However, the detective who investigated his disappearance had doubts about his drowning theory. That's what police thought, is that he just drowned. Because
that's what I would accept.
Logically, that's what I would assume too.
Yeah.
Like, there was no footsteps led up right to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
What else are you going to think?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They sent dental records to Chicago to see if Kubacki was killed by another famous serial killer in Chicago at that time.
Chicago.
You know who it was. Chicago in the 70s.
Chicago 70s? I want to say it's freaking... No, it's not Gein.
No, it's not Gein, but it is a G.
Gacy.
Yep.
Thank you.
So they got his records to see if Gacy got him.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
No, that's not what happened.
70s were rough for serial killers.
Dude, they were just like... That's when they all sprouted up.
Yeah. Well, then you have to think about what happened in the 50s.
Mm-hmm. What happened in the 50s?
I don't know, but like that's what like a lot of like, and they were a lot in their early 20s, 30s, so 50s, 40s. Like what happened, you know?
World War II, killing everywhere.
Yeah, like it's just
Maybe.
you just kind of wonder why.
How many serial killers are going to be made from the Ukraine war and the Palestine and Israel war?
But that was U.S. serial killer sparked up, so I'm guessing it would have to be as traumatic. I wonder what like, who knows? COVID could stir up something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
and so one thing that I didn't really agree with, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna get your take on it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the midst of all this, Stephen's brother didn't believe that he drowned, so he hired a private investigator to.
Older or younger? Do you know?
The investigator?
No, the brother.
I don't know.
I don't
know. Hired a private investigator from the Fat Man Detective Service.
Oh, fancy.
Literally what it's called. And the detective said, yeah, I had my doubts too. But like if I was looking for work and I had a desperate family. I would encourage him,
yeah.
You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But at the same time, they could be coming from a good place. Yeah. I don't know. I just have I don't know.
I mean, why would you work against your person right off the bat? You would want to support them.
Yeah, I guess I have just an issue with trust. Build their trust. Yeah, I guess. But like, giving the family hope almost.
False hope.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
You know, because families spend thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Also, psychics are a big thing of that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Psychics are really big on that. So a lot of like investigations and stuff aren't into that because it almost gives them false hope, or almost wants like families, like sometimes they're like, oh, we have to look in the wrong direction, stuff like that. So
yeah, I guess maybe sometimes it gives like maybe a sense of closure or not closure. Like I don't know.
That's a lot. Giving
family hope when you actually have no idea.
Kind of
that's like a really shitty thing to do.
It's also like what gives you that right? Like, why would you do that?
Also, why would you hire somebody from the Fat Man Detective Service?
I know, I like it. I bet that's what he could afford.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right. But yeah, so they hired this private detective. He didn't believe in the theory of the ice, where he died in the ice.
Well, it doesn't make sense, yeah.
Right. However, you know, after Stephen disappeared, the school went into like a mourning, right?
Yeah, like
people
the
had their typical thing,
like that,
right? Yeah, the vigils, the things like that. However, there was one girl that stood out. Her name's redacted from all police reports.
Oh.
We'll call her Martha for this, just because that's a name I thought. She stopped going to class about 2-3 weeks after Stephen disappeared.
Was he his love?
I have no idea.
Huh.
Name's gone. And then she actually left campus on the 3rd week. She absolutely just up and left college. And she was so distraught that she left a suicide note with her roommate about Stephen being gone.
What?
Which is like a little extreme because he didn't have any known girlfriends in the U.S., only in Germany when he studied abroad.
What?
Weird, right?
Yeah.
And her name's redacted. Yeah. Weird.
Huh.
It is weird, right?
But that's it? That's all she did? She didn't kill herself though, right?
No, that's all I found.
Unless they were like... Unless she was in on it and like kind of wanted to help seal the deal.
I don't know.
Because, like, if you have somebody that intense about it, then yeah. But then you would think he would, like, make it known that it's his girlfriend, right?
Yeah, you would think. Because, yeah, he didn't have anybody in the U.S.
So his girlfriend was in Germany, right, though? You said a Germany love.
Yes, a German lover. So, we pretty much touched on him getting calls. So, yeah, his mom getting calls. The college dean asked if there was any guesses. So the police came and asked the dean if there was any guesses he would have if like these were prank calls. And the dean pretty much said, I don't know, he ran with a crowd of 20 people and they were weird. And so it could be any of them. That's what he said. His brother said that if Steven did fly to Germany, because that was another theory.
That he went off with his girlfriend?
Yeah, he just fled the States. That he would have definitely flown with Icelandic Air out of Chicago. They checked flight records for a year from February 17th to February 21st. A year apart. Nothing came back. They even checked Germany. Any landings of his names, nothing. And after all this, after Steven came back, in one interview, he marveled about the amount of money his parents spent to find him, which I thought was weird.
Oh, he was like, I just can't believe how much my parents spent on me.
Yeah, like almost like, can't believe they cared this much, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of fucking weird.
That is weird. Was he like having... He literally just said his dad was going to give him his house. He has a sibling.
Yeah, it's weird. However, on the day that he was found... So what happened was, on the day he was found, a Boston taxi driver picked him up and took him to his aunt's house. And then from his aunt's house, they went to his dad's house.
Aunt didn't know anything?
No.
Seems like all the aunt the quiet lady. Aunt seems to come up in here.
Yeah, Aunt didn't know anything, supposedly. But, however, on the day Steve, the taxi driver, he read this report about Steven Kubacki, and he said, he picked up somebody that was eerily similar, that looked pretty much similar to Steven, but he went as Nathan. And he said he just flew in from San Francisco. Didn't mention anything. Yeah, didn't mention anything about waking up naked in a field. Weird, right?
That was weird. So we just don't even know what he did?
No, he's still alive.
Oh,
he's still alive.
I guess that makes
he's
sense.
a psychotherapist.
Okay.
Some psycho.
Yes.
But
emphasis.
He doesn't talk about it at all. Like he just completely dismisses it, almost like he doesn't want it to exist, but he's interested in the stories that people tell about it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Dang, I bet he can charge a pretty penny for his thing now.
Yeah, he doesn't live too far from us.
Really? Where does he live?
Seattle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say San Francisco.
Mm-mm.
Dang.
What do you think?
I just wonder.
What do you wonder about? Ask me questions.
I guess I just wonder why he would do it.
So you think he did do it? You don't think it was actually a medical state?
No.
Why not?
Because you know how easy it could be that he could just walk backwards through his footprints?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But then the only thing I guess is he would have to have he had to have worked with somebody to do it. He had to have had to let somebody know that he was doing it.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, because he can't. The only thing is, I would say he couldn't have done it alone, especially with the backpack and skis and stuff.
That's the weird part for me. So that's where I started getting down this rabbit hole with the UFOs.
The only thing I'm saying is, if you have like somebody who'd help you out, they're in that search party too. Just throw it in there.
Oh, so you think it was somebody in the search party?
Yeah. If I don't have somebody do it, you have to insert yourself in the investigation, right? So you have somebody who's like in the back and they prop it up and they're like, dude, I found this. There's going to be tons of footprints and everything around it anyways. Nobody's going to know which direction or what was going on.
Yeah, but I wonder what happened that was so bad that he had to disappear for 14 months. Or like...
Unless... Because obviously they're not going to release like how he was doing in his studies or anything. Because that's like private. But I could see it being like... I don't know. Just something where either he wanted to make a name for himself, and he was like, what if I did this? I
see where you come from, like getting in the papers.
Yeah.
Okay, but now let's imagine that he actually did go into a fugue state. How scary would that be?
It's super scary. Like, majorly scary.
That's, like, terrifying.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is that, yeah, unless you have, like, multiple like, the only thing I come through is, like, multiple personality disorder, but I've never seen anything of, I guess it could be a fugue state, but I've never seen it be that long. And then and of course, but then that's still usually a stressor makes that, you know?
Like, a stressor usually causes it?
Yeah.
Like, what was it?
Exactly. Something must have happened. And then what? His girlfriend in Germany didn't care? Or did he like, oh, my girlfriend's from Canada, but like, you know, is it something like that?
I don't know. Oh, also, a little side note piece here. I'm kind of looking over the notes again. So when he came to his aunt's house, he was wearing a shirt for a Wisconsin marathon.
Oh.
Like, he ran it, and there was only a few people that signed up, or like, I want to say a few people, but there was a very select number of people that ran that marathon. So Ellen, the lady that wrote this article, looked up
who was on it.
She looked up Steven, nothing. Nathan, nothing. But Nat came up, which is like, maybe, I think that's scraping though.
Nate would be different.
Yeah, Nate would be different. Yeah, it's very odd.
Also, if somebody thrifted it or donated
that's the other thing.
it.
That's the other thing. Like, it doesn't carry a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
You know, but it's I don't know. It's just very interesting. You know, like.
Yeah. No, if anything, he did it by himself or a UFO.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fugue state. I mean, I guess it's just. I don't know. But what else are you looking over?
Nothing really. I'm just seeing if I missed anything.
I think you did a great job.
Essentially, that's what happened. He went on a cross-country skiing trip. He disappeared. Some phone calls to his mom that she didn't know about. He came back, and it was like he didn't remember any of it or didn't want to remember any of it. And
but also, if you're like, I didn't remember that, how did he know his mom's phone number and his aunt's phone number?
That's the thing.
I totally forgot about that until right now. How would he just know it?
I don't know. That's the thing. Where it's like, was it selective? Because like I haven't used my home landline in forever. It's canceled now, but I still remember it. You know, like, I remember it, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. I remember when your sister was saying that she was giving all of the like spam numbers that phone number, and then we called your parents and they're like, yeah, it's still active.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
My gosh, I was dying.
Oh, side note, on the last episode we did about the Mansfield Reformatory, we ended up talking about borders for some reason.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. And so my mom was telling, she listens to the podcast.
Nice,
Hey, Mama.
Hey.
She told me that one of the reasons that it's hard for Mexicans to get visa.
Oh, we were asking, because I was asking, like, Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, one of the reasons it's hard for Mexicans to get work visas in the U.S. is because they have to own a certain amount of property in Mexico.
I know.
So they have to have like a certain amount of asset size to where it's justifiable to come back to Mexico. Rather than like giving somebody a visa where they don't own anything or have anything.
They can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, where they can just go.
Oh,
which
that makes
I
sense.
did not know that at all.
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not common knowledge. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Huh. Well, then you wonder. I know, because we get we see a lot of those sometimes. So it's like, oh, huh.
Like what?
The work visas. But, But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm glad you remembered that.
Totally just off the top of my head.
I know.
Also, if you're listening this far, we have a little teaser. We're going to start a mini series where we go over some weird Reddit stories
Yeah.
and just give our 2 cents on them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a pretty upbeat, light mini series where it's just, they're going to be shorter episodes, way shorter, but they're going to be funny, hopefully. And we're thinking, I don't know, I'm shooting anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, not super long, not super short.
Yeah, I would say that.
Or it's like a short ride, but we discuss these random Reddit stories because I feel like I see them everywhere.
And they are entertaining to listen to, and figured we could bring some to you.
Yeah, just something funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, so if you've listened this long, I think we're shooting to release it on Fridays, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, something funny. So, that's it for today.
Sweet. That was awesome. I liked it.
Sweet. Well, we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.